about lots and lots of things, and we've studied and learned and have all this knowledge. So it occurs to me, and I think I'm right about this. I'm going to go that far and say I think I know what's going on here. And that is, suppose you have one of your children and they ask you kind of a complicated question. Let's say they ask you, well, Daddy, where did I come from? Well, right away, before they've even finished the sentence, you're in trouble, and, because, you don't want to take this little kid and start trying to talk to them about, how sex works and everything else. You don't want to do it. You're not going to do it. You won't do it. So you try to kind of explain to them in a way that they will understand something. Well, the Almighty created you, but the thing is, you came through your parents. Your parents came together, and from that you were born, and God gave you a body, and here you are. Oh, I don't know, not a very good explanation. I suppose I'm sure there are people who give a much nicer thing to a child, much more appropriate. But if you're a parent, they're asking you, they're right there in your face, and they're asking you this question, they're looking up at you, you're going to tell them something. So we can imagine that at some point, man, this creature of God, started getting curious about things. Well, where did it all come from? I mean, even today we want to know the answer to these questions, don't we? So God it struck me, the thing that struck me here is the kindness of it, the wonder, the wonderful gentleness and kindness of how the Almighty did this. Assuming, this is a book, could it have been altered? Just kind of wing and a prayer here and go along and say, well, probably pretty much, the way it was, I don't know, could have changed a sentence here and there, not sure. But, it looks pretty. So, kind of going along with this idea, the story is, pretty much kind of, this is what happened. You can see how God works through this simple, the simpleness of man at that time, and tries to explain some things to him about how it all came about, so that he won't be, always having this question, wandering around, bothering himself and busying himself and getting all upset about, where did everything come from? So you can see here that in the very beginning, this is like you would talk to a child. Well, in the very beginning, you were, whatever you might tell your children, you understand, you were like this. And then you remember how you went to play with Bobby, and there was this, and there was that. And remember how you had the big apple, and you wanted to eat it, and you did, and it tasted good? Remember that? So you talk to the child, and you explain things to the child, in this case, an early human being who was being used by God, since God is speaking through him in a way that he could understand, so that he didn't upset and disturb his feelings, that kind of thing, I guess. Gotta be real careful here what I say, because I don't want to get whacked about this. This is stuff. So he says, right away, he doesn't talk about, there's a vast universe, Bob, and you don't know anything about it, and there's all kind of planets, and they do like this and like this and like that. No, he doesn't do that. He talks about very simple things. The heavens and the earth. Right away, he brings in, something the guy is familiar with. The earth. The guy knows about the earth. Yeah, the earth. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. And but then he kind of goes back and says, the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the water. Now let's just look at this. Here's talking to this guy. He said, well, there's some other stuff, but there's the earth, and then let's talk about water. Another thing the guy surely knew something about. We all have to have water. We know what water is. Yeah, oh yeah, the water, I get it. Yeah, there's water. And then somehow we see that, God was kind of acting on this water, doing something on this water. Move upon the face of the water. It kind of sounds, oh yeah, I can get it. Yeah, move on the face of the water. And I think, yeah, sure, okay. Now, he says, and let there be light, and there was light. So this is wonderful because, see, he's starting to talk about things, then he kind of shifts the subject. What a great story. He's a good storyteller because then he shifts to something kind of opposite, more pleasant. Water, darkness, now light, light. So he can kind of relax and not be harmed by the story in any way. So there was light. Now, I don't know if God's saying things that was good and everything. I'm not sure about that myself. I only have so much understanding. But God saw that the light was good, and God separated the light from the darkness. Now we're kind of going into more, now we're going to talk about how a little more intricate and to separate light and darkness. That's pretty intricate. And kind of get into things a little bit. Okay, the guy goes going, okay, sure, yeah. And then God called the light day, and darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was the morning of the first day. So, what is he doing here? Well, he's probably doing a lot of things that I don't understand, but I mean, it's, just on a simple kind of way. He's doing something here, isn't he? Because he's saying, okay, now let's relate to things you know about the day, and you know about the night, don't you? Yeah, yeah, sure, I know about that. And then, now, that was kind of like the first thing. See? The light and the darkness, he's kind of saying, the first day, he calls it. Because, what is he going to say? Is he going to say, that was the first part of the essence of the book? No, he relates to this so this guy can understand him. And he says, and he brings it back so we don't get too much into anything. That was like, so now time, we're talking about light and day, but then the earth is starting to move, isn't it? Because now it's kind of like, it's evening. So there's, the guy goes, oh yeah, the evening, yeah, I know what that is, it's evening, sure, okay. And then he says, and let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. Now this is something you have to know something about, because what is he talking about? Waters, dividing waters from waters, firmament, not really sure, but he's got the guy kind of interested. He's bringing in some more unknown things. There's an essence of water, and then the water that you have, the water itself, the physical water is, kind of, I don't know, somehow derives from that. I'm not sure exactly how it works. I've heard an explanation of it. It's kind of over my head. Anyway, so he's going. So there was. So now we're going to talk. So he's kind of talking about essences, dividing the waters, and the firmament. What is that? The firmament. Not sure, are we? Firmament. What's that? See? So you don't know. So this is kind of like a good story. He brings up somewhere, you know what it is, and you think, I wonder what that is. Is he going to tell me what that is? So there you go. And then God said, let there be the firmament in the midst of blah, blah, blah. And God said, made the firmament and divided the waters that were under the firmament from the waters that were above the firmament, and it was so. So probably, what I'm really talking about here is that the water, dividing it means that the physical water is going to be here on the earth, and that other water, in essence, he's going to put that one down here. So it's like there are two different things going on here, two different realms. God made the firmament and divided the waters that were under the firmament from the waters that were above the firmament, and it was so. And God called the firmament sky, and there was evening, and there was morning the second day. So now we're kind of having a rhythm, and we're taking a break. No, okay, so that's enough. Let's not get too... So, the sky. Okay, the sky. So we're kind of getting the idea that the sky, the firmament, what is it? So we're not going to get into heaven here in essence. Maybe this is right. Just going to have like the sky, way up there, way off in the distance. There's something else I'm talking about. So broad stuff. And then God said, "Let the waters that are under the sky be gathered together in one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. So now we're going to go from water, kind of two different kind of waters, and we're going to come back to the sky so you can kind of see, oh yeah, oh I see. So that's how they got here, because God, So he's kind of bringing this guy he's working through, back to the earth. Back on the earth again. Look at the sky. Everything's come along. You with me so far? See, that kind of thing. Then God called the dry land earth, and the gathering. So now we have dry land. Something new came in here. And the gathering together of the waters he called seas, and God thought it was good. So the guys going, oh yeah, the oceans, the seas, I know about that. And then there's earth. So yeah, see, I'm getting you. I'm hearing what you're saying. And God said, let the earth bring forth vegetation, and herb yielding seed of it after its kind, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after its kind, wherein is there seed upon the earth, and it was so. So now he's talking about, there's some different things besides the earth and the water. And there's an order. There's a relationship and there's a law. The tree yields its own kind of fruit. And, like that. So there's a rule, a law. That's how it is. The guy says, oh yeah, trees, fruit, everything else. Yeah, I get that. And then he's going, and sure enough, there it was. It happened. All the stuff happens. So he's kind of breaking everything down into things the guy can understand. First, I said, go there, and then the guy went there. So, I said, I planted the seed, and then see. So, in God saw that was good. Now, so the guy's going, yeah, that's good. So he's kind of going along. He can kind of go along with what the Almighty is telling him. Now I'm going to stop again, very gentle. So you're not going to get rushing off into very simple, one step at a time. Then there was another rest, another break, the third day. then God said, let there